Hello, hello. Hi. Let me let some people come on. I am here again for another one of my amazing fertility hot seats. So, this is where one of you gets to ask to join me live, and you get a free 15-minute consult with me. All about your fertility case. Before any of you ask to join, well, I guess you can start asking to join, whoever wants to. So get in the queue. Let's get people joining, asking to join. Just want to remind you of a few things. So it's a 15-minute consult with me. You're going to go public and live and share your information, and your story is going to help others. So I appreciate that. And remember, I do this based on my almost 20 years of clinical experience as an acupuncturist and herbalist, and as the author of these books, right? I've helped a lot of women over the years get and stay pregnant. So I have a lot of confidence, but I am in fact not a medical doctor. So keep that in mind. So I will, when you come on, recommend certain tests, things of that nature for you, but you'd have to go to your doctor for that to get tested. So let's see, who wants to come on live with me and get this free consult with me? Get my advice on your case. Let's see. We don't have any requests at this moment in time, which is crazy to me. Usually we have like 3 or 4 in the queue every time. So Angelica, I see you have a question. Do you want to come on live and ask me that question? So if so, just hit request to join live. And I'll bring you on and answer it. So I can bring you on, Angelica, if you want, but I have to get the okay from you. I don't want to force you into anything. So yes, she said yes. All right, Angelica, here it is. We're going to do it. Okay, so now of course there's like 3 people in the queue. Okay, Angelica, I just told you could do it. So you have to hit the request. Okay, she moves you now. All of a sudden there's 3 people. So what should I do? Should I do a first come, first serve? Oh, trying to figure it out. You're cute. So you just hit, there should be where you hit the button and it should say request to join Aimee live. Let me see. Sorry. Okay, Angelica, here we are. You ready? See what happens. I'm waiting for Angelica. Okay. Oh, you did it.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Hope I didn't pressure you into this, but
No, not at all. I was like, I'm trying, please.
I know. I feel like that happens sometimes because now all of a sudden there was like 4 people that wanted to come on. But so tell me, so you had excision surgery. When was that for endo?
February 2019.
Okay.
Had that done down in Atlanta.
Okay. And so you were diagnosed then definitively, obviously, with endo when they went in. Okay.
Yes. Horrible stage 4, really big mess.
Okay.
It was a 7-hour surgery.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you been trying to conceive then since?
I have. I've had my tubes checked twice. And now I've got 3 new endometriomas on my right ovary and scar tissue on the left.
Okay.
So I've done all of the charting and the Creighton, and I just started seeing a TCM practitioner. So, and I know that you do that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And how about food? Have you been? What's your diet like?
I'm mostly plant-based, but I love fish and eat meat here and there. She actually wants me to put on weight. But
Yeah,
I'm very, very clean. I don't like chemicals. I've been watching that for a long time.
Okay. Do you have any digestive issues?
I do. I did have 6 inches of sigmoid colon resected during my surgery.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like it's really worked the way that it used to ever since.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why.
What about the MTHFR mutation?
I do have one. I do have one of them.
Sorry. Okay.
I take a.
And what about your period? Is that coming regularly?
It is.
Okay. Okay. Is it painful?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't for a while, and I would say in the last 4 or 5 months, I've gotten more cramps and more pain. And the pain seems to be, it's like higher up. It's not necessarily down where you have cramps. It seems to be higher up where the abs are
And like
in
in the
hips.
diaphragm. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you're like, do you know your macros? Like if you're really watching what you eat, like about protein and carbs and fat, do you know how much you're eating?
I don't pay attention to that.
Okay. No, you don't have to. I feel like you're do
Oh,
not
there you
disturb
are.
on because someone just kept calling me.
Yeah.
I swore it was on, but I have the worst luck with that. My body belief book. Have you read this yet?
I haven't. I just learned about you watching the endometriosis summit. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like I'm
Yeah, when I was on
totally
with Sally the other
yeah.
night. I would get this. So I'm not opposed to, like, if you're plant-based and you eat good fish and meat on occasion, but there's a lot of and you've probably heard about them, lectins that are in like nuts and seeds and beans that
Mm-hmm.
can be really inflammatory. And so some of my endometriosis girls, when we do the elimination diet that's in Body Belief, which we are doing my fertility reboot like right now, like it kicked off today, but that's based on this book. You might find that you feel better on like they either should be soaked or sprouted nuts and beans and seeds or no nuts and beans and seeds. And so that you might need to get, because you could have, if you know about your MTHFR, did you do the 23andMe genetic test ever?
I've never done it. No.
So there's one genetic SNP called the FADS, FADS.
Okay.
And it basically, if you have it, you can't take nuts and seeds and get omega-3s from them, or plants. Like, so the foods that are rich in omega-3s, you actually can only utilize them from meat and fish and eggs. And so there's a handful of people that have it. And when I see it, I usually am like, oh, did you ever try to go like plant-based or vegetarian and you felt like shit? And they're like, oh my God, yeah, I was tired, or, this kind of thing. So it might be, that's one thing I would think about is the sources of your omegas, or just at the very least to take a really good quality omega-3 fish oil in high doses. So if you're watching the endometriosis summit, then you know of Dr. Vidali. Like I think they have their own omega-3 that Braverman made before he passed, but there's another one that they like, the Nutrigold. I actually have it on my website too. And to take upwards of like 3 grams of that a day, which could really help with lowering inflammation and the symptoms. And then, I would focus on trying to get more of either animal or fish or, eggs, protein wise. Make sure your food is more cooked than raw, because raw is really hard to digest and can cause more inflammation. I would do regular castor oil packs in the follicular phase. And if you don't know what that is, to just DM us. You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm writing all this down. And then you were saying you're prenatal, so you're avoiding things with folic acid, right? Only getting the methylfolate
Right.
in? Okay.
Yeah.
And then have you ever been pregnant in the past, like before the surgery?
I had
Okay.
a chemical in June.
Okay. So the surgery was in February. Then you had a chemical after that?
Last year. Yeah, no, it was February
Before.
last year. So well over a year. And then my first pregnancy in June.
So this June. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so things are trying to happen. Okay, that's a good sign.
Right.
I'm sure you feel discouraged, but that's a good sign.
No, I mean, it was a good sign, because I thought, okay, maybe I don't need to do IVF and go through all of that, because that scares me a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah, I would, I think I would do the things you're doing. Like I would definitely dive into this and check out the information in the book and just read and educate yourself about it too, because you could also get the 23andMe genetic test done. It's like you order it as a kit and you spit and then they send you their results.
Yeah.
And you could find out if you have its FADS, FADS. If you have that, there's a bunch of things like you can get these reports and then tells you, oh, you need more omega-3s, or you need, you don't absorb your B vitamins. And that could be it too. If like you're depending on the plant-based proteins for your Bs and your omegas, and you have a couple of these genetic SNPs, you're basically screwed. Like you're working uphill, and it's like, all's fine and dandy if that's how you want to eat, but your body doesn't like it. You know what I mean? So it's good to figure that stuff out. Which is why I think now when I think back over the Chinese medicine philosophy and like what I've always practiced, I think I was actually treating for a lot of these genetic predispositions that I didn't know necessarily existed, but like recommending liver, and it was probably helping women with the MTHFR and eating eggs, and like, because that's the best source for your body to just take it in and utilize it. And so you might just be like doing all the right things, but still nutrient deficient. And so your body's just not, and if the endometriomas are growing back, the scar tissue sucks. So was it a surgeon that Vidali had recommended or no?
No,
Or you found him after? Yeah.
I did actually. I consulted with him earlier this year, and he was like, "Well, you're 40, so you should probably just do IVF."
Okay.
But then that was before I had the chemical. But no, I had it with a doctor down in Atlanta.
Okay. So, I mean, the thing too for the scar tissue is the castor oil packs and the Mayan abdominal massage and like some acupuncture. So if you can find your acupuncturist will probably know someone who does the Mayan abdominal massage.
Yeah.
Because either way, even if their scar tissue and the endometriomas grew back, I still would worry about blood flow being compromised to the ovaries and impacting the quality of the eggs. So you'd still want to get that under control, even if you did IVF. The chemical is hopeful because it's like, okay, things are meeting. Egg and sperm met. They were able to try to implant. I think that's all really positive. And so I would kind of stay on this hunt a little bit longer. Maybe give yourself a time frame of like, okay, if I'm not pregnant in the next 6 or 9 months, sure, I'll consider IVF. But like, I still think there's more that you could do. Basically, that's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
And really think about it from like so much of what I talk about in Body Belief is really autoimmune paleo, which you heard me talk about with Sally. That's kind of how I would go about it and think about it. And then, are you taking the N.A.C., the N-acetylcysteine? Do you know about that okay, good. So I would do like a high dose of fish oil, like the 3 grams of fish oil, N.A.C., a good prenatal with the methylfolate. You want to think about choline too. So you need choline rich foods when you have the MTHFR. So that's like eggs and liver, which is why I usually recommend the liver. You can find it in pill form.
Okay.
It's on my website too. If you just go under Amy's recommended products, you'll see the things like in there. So, and the different supplements, but the liver is a great source of choline. Eggs with the yolks, making sure you're eating like a couple egg yolks. Cook your veggies, cook them in a fat. Just try not to eat them raw. And let the acupuncturist do their magic too, especially with the Chinese herbs and needles. And then think about, I don't know. And sperm has been checked. Has sperm been checked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So what questions do you have for me?
One, I have a blood sugar question.
Okay.
My fasting blood glucose came back at 98, but my A1c is like 5.3 or 5.2.
Yeah, it's a little high. Okay.
So, I mean, should I be on metformin or?
Have you heard of Vasatol? It's like
I've been on it
you've been on it. Okay.
I'm doing
So the other thing I would ask though is how much protein are you getting? Are you eating enough protein, and are you not letting your blood sugar drop? So that I would try, if you're doing the Vasatol, you can do the metformin. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it does prevent you from absorbing fats, which could impact egg quality. And some women get GI issues. And if you already have GI issues, that's kind of where I would think. I would first look at your diet, and you really want to hit upwards of 80 grams of protein a day, which most of us don't do. It's pretty hard. You got to really pay attention. and not going too long between meals, like getting food in every couple hours. And, you know, every meal should basically have a protein, a vegetable, and a fat, you know, and that's how I would think about it. You can still have fruit, you know, 1 to 2 servings of a you know, low glycemic fruit a day. Um, but I would try that first to see if that regulates the A1C, and then increasing the fish oil as well, because that should help with, you know, reducing inflammation. And so sometimes the A1C is actually doing that in response to inflammation versus anything else. And so you've been on the Vasatol. I'm trying to think what else you could do, like adding cinnamon to foods is like helpful for sugar. You probably know all that. Yeah, I would think about protein.
Okay.
And that if you're mostly plant-based, like maybe you're just not hitting your protein marks every day. So you could do, you know, that app, MyFitnessPal, it's free. It's great to log your food, and there's an option, like it's at the bottom. You don't have to pay more for it, but it tells you your macros. So you can actually then see at the end of your day what you're hitting, like how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat. And, you know, I tend to think it's like you want like 30 or so percent protein, 40 to 50% fat, and then the rest is in your carbs, you know. And so I would think about that first and then see if you can regulate it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? What else you got for me?
I mean, basically with TCM, she says you know, liver stagnation, the big crack down the tongue. So trying to work on, you know, clearing that. I don't know if you talk about that in your book or.
Yeah, I do. And also, you know, it's pretty typical with endo, I think. Like there's kind of like a classic symptomology we see in Chinese medicine with that. And it's like stagnation, like things are getting stuck and not flowing. And so to think about that, where, you know, there's this physical stuckness, like these actual, you know, growths, and where is there the emotional stuckness, you know, and so to let yourself flow more, and, you know what I mean, not hold on or grip too tight, you know, so easy to say, I know, but, you know, that kind of thing of like, where am I feeling stuck? Where am I holding? But the acupuncture is great at moving liver qi, and then also the diet. Like if you get upwards of, you know, the 6 to 8 servings of green vegetables, namely, you know, but just vegetables every day, and the cruciferous ones, that's really supportive to detoxing the liver. And then of course, you know, you're already doing the things, but eating super clean, avoiding the chemicals, eating organic, avoiding the genetically modified stuff. Make sure bath and beauty products, same thing. Like, so you can really just minimize your exposure to all the estrogens, because your body doesn't process estrogen well. It's like kind of how I would look at it. Whether you too much or too little doesn't quite matter, but so you want to limit those exposures too, which that will really support the liver from a Chinese and a Western medicine perspective of how to like clear and let things flow.
Okay.
And
as far as exercise,
yeah,
I'm told not to. I mean, obviously, I really can't do anything like it's hard to jog or do something like mountain climbers because I'll start to feel it. But just I'm keeping it down to yoga and walking. But then when I have blood sugar concerns, I'm like, how do I do this?
yeah. Yeah, I would still try to get the blood sugar concerns more through the diet and the protein first. And I would definitely move, because that's so good for liver qi stagnation from a Chinese medicine perspective. It's just, yeah, too intense exercise probably isn't going to suit you. So just, I mean, try to get your 10,000 steps in every day. You know, I know everybody talks about that, but that's still almost 5 miles. You know, it's a good amount of walking and moving. Think about it that way. And then you probably would do good too with like infrared sauna, you know, sweating it out a little bit, like a couple times a week. Not too much. We don't like too much sweat from a Chinese medicine perspective, loss, but like 15 minutes twice a week. And infrared sauna really helps detoxify the body too. And that might have a positive impact on the blood sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
Great stuff. Thank
you. All right. Okay. Well, so keep us posted. If you need any links or anything, just message us in Instagram, and we're here to support you. And then I am talking nutrition and I forget supplements, I think, at the summit on Saturday. So tune into that too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you. Good luck. Okay. Keep us posted. All right.
Okay.
Bye. And I see there's questions, so I'll go through and answer those now. I think Beth is probably doing that too, but That was such a good case. And look at us, endometriosis summit. Love it. Okay, so cute braid. Thanks. This is called dirty hair. Okay. 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 Yeah, people are sharing on post-excision stage 4. Yay for doing the things. This is all to you, Angelica. Is fish oil safe with high cholesterol? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You could just Google it, but not that I encourage Dr. Google to be the answer to all your questions, but yes, because cholesterol is typically an inflammatory response and fish oil is an anti-inflammatory. What is an optimal A1c? I think below a 5. What could be the main reason for low platelets? Gosh, it just depends. It could be, something with a white blood cell, something with an infection, or, it just kind of depends. I think I would need to see a cold CBC to really give you all the information, but I think about the immune system when I think of low platelets. So do things to help support the immune system. How do you know when Vasatol is appropriate or inappropriate? I think if someone has blood sugar issues or if they have signs and symptoms of PCOS, it's good. Then there's, but it's also been shown to be a helpful antioxidant for egg quality. So I don't know that it hurts anyone to take it. Is a normal sauna recommended if we don't have access to infrared? Yeah, again, though, in moderation. I don't want you sweating too much if you are trying to get pregnant, because sweat is a vital substance. The fluids are a vital substance that are really important for fertility. So, yes, getting a good sweat a couple times a week is good for you. And yeah, if you can't do the infrared, then the regular sauna could work. Where should I go? 40 years, Hashimoto's, all number labs except then of 250 and trying to conceive. I don't know that I understand your question. Thyroid antibodies are high. So you have Hashimoto. So I would follow the recommendations in this book, in Body Belief. I would get yourself a copy of Body Belief and follow that. How do I know if I'm nutrient deficient or blood circulation issues? Really, I would just do you have a lot of symptoms? Are your nails cracking and breaking? Does your hair break off easily or fall out? Is your skin dry? Cold hands and feet, scanty periods. Those are all signs to me. So again, I would need a whole picture, but I would read, either one of my, probably start with yes, you can get pregnant. I think that's a good place to start. I've been told I have PCO, but not PCOS. Is there anything special I should be doing for that? I think it's still kind of the same recommendations though, with protein and vegetables and fat and, following the supplements that I recommend. It just means you don't have the syndrome. But you do have the cyst on your ovaries. And so castor oil packs, acupuncture, Chinese herbs, those types of things to really help. If it's not impacting ovulation or menstruation and everything's happening pretty regularly, I'm not sure it's that big of a concern. So it really, again, would be case dependent on all the recommendations. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I have quite a few more things to do today. And when is the magnesium cream coming out? I don't know. I've had, we're having some production issues. How about that? So I am working on it. I promise I'll let you know as soon as I know. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Love you. Have a great day.